Yeah, affordable housing, I've done my part, so I know what it's like to deal with tenants. I'm on Abbey Manor Board, so I know what it's like to deal with legal agreements and dealing with the BC Housing Society, or the corporation rather, and you know, dealing with contractors to come in and maintain buildings. I've dealt with infrastructure, I've built roads, I've done water lines, sewer lines, you know, built houses, run lots of machinery. I'm quite familiar with that. I'm familiar with budgets, and you know, I think that you get a good council and a good crew, and anything's possible. I don't see obstacles in the way. I face challenges head on, and I get them done. And I don't have a lot of meetings. I come up with ideas, I come up with solutions, I get the job done. So you know, I don't see any of these things as obstacles. And if they are obstacles, we'll get over them. And I'll make an extra promise too. If I'm elected, I promise that everybody in Kaslo will have free parking.
Obviously, this is not something that you only find in Kaslo. This is a national problem. So it'd be great if you could find a solution here and spread it out the word. I would love to continue with the group, the Kaslo Housing Society. If I'm councillor, I think we're going somewhere. We have been taking some quite nice steps forward. There is way more grant money available right now, so I cannot see why we can't do something. And we got to work together with us all. So thank you. That's it. 3%.
Okay, I'll speak briefly about the burning topic that Erica had, which is the lands assessment. It is true that the village does own a lot of property. Actually, 34% of the land in Kaslo is owned by the village. It's either raw land or with municipal buildings. So one of my, it's not a promise, but a commitment that I would work with, if I elected mayor, that if I would work with council and the Kaslo Housing Society to see which parcels of vacant land that the village currently owns, that there are some that are serviced that could be easily developed into affordable housing right this minute. You know, as soon as the legal parts could be dealt with. It just takes a review, and so we look forward to it. Whoever's on council, I think, should sit down with the Housing Society and review the lands assessment and the parcels of land that the village does have, and see what might be suitable. And then they could demonstrate that they can successfully put forward a project and complete it, which would, I think, serve them better going forward for a larger project. Funding agencies would look more favorably on them in that case, because then they have demonstrated that they can work through a project and see it to completion and provide housing for some vulnerable families.
Thank you. My wife was kind enough this morning to direct me to a website, and I'm just going to read you the first paragraph. I'm not going to read you the whole article that I printed off, but it says, under the umbrella of the Arrow and Spokane Lakes Community Services and the Columbia Basin Trust, BC Housing will build 10 of the allotted 167 new affordable housing units for people in the region struggling to find housing they can afford. This is a breakthrough. This is a tremendous opportunity, and this is a combination of Columbia Basin Trust working with the province, and they're committing to 167 units in it's in Castlegar, Nelson, McCusk, Roslyn, so on and so forth. There's no reason why we can't get on this bandwagon, none whatsoever. What we have to demonstrate is the capacity to manage one of these projects, and that's going to take teamwork. We all have to work together, council, the Housing Society, local contractors, everybody has to get involved. And if we do that, I'm convinced that we can successfully get one of these grants and get some affordable housing going. We have the land, that's not the issue, but we have to build the infrastructure, and we have to do it collectively. So partnerships is the key to making this happen.
That affordable housing is a pretty complex issue. There's a lot of layers to it. There's short-term, there's long-term, there's emergency housing. And I think for the very first time in probably forever, every government entity is working together. We've got the federal government, the provincial government, municipalities, and the community. So now is the time. We've got a lot of momentum in the housing society. So now's the time that we can make it all work. But only if we all work together, including the regional district, the building inspector. So I think now's the time we can do it.
Thank you. So, wrapping this up in 2 minutes, I want to say positive with it, because although I did mention we don't have the same regulating authority, there are definitely things that can happen. What I do want to say is that, is that this is going in a very positive direction. In the 4 years I've been elected, in the previous 3 years, the affordable housing issue has skyrocketed. Food security was our hot topic before that, and that hasn't gone away, but affordable housing is very much tied up in that. How we deal with it is all the components you've heard about tonight and ramping those up. The Kaslo Housing Society and the ability for the village and myself to support them with economic development, with taxation funding to hire a coordinator is a key component to capacity. You need capacity in your societies to be able to chase that money, to be able to know the plans, to build the plans, and do all of that. So I strongly support and will continue to support the Housing Society to, at minimum, have staff to do the work they're doing. Second to that, I think there's a really important factor is that when we look at regulatory aspects, no matter what the regulation is, you have to be more enabling than you are punitive. If you're punitive before you can actually enable someone to live in a home, such as the building code, which I'm the first person to say that it's absolutely ridiculous, you're not enabling a community to grow, and that's the fine balance between regulations and having a healthy, sustainable community. So, going back to the question about penalties, I would never favor penalties. What I would favor is incentives that encourage a different type of lifestyle, such as renting out your home. So there's a lot of different ways you can look at that. So what we're currently doing, working with the Housing Society, the Village of Kaslo, and then the Regional District, which is 3 different programs right now, are all going in the right direction. I'd say there's hope on the horizon from my perspective, and it's just still a lot of work to go. This isn't a short-term solution, this is a long-term one. When it comes to advocacy, I can definitely guarantee you I'm not giving up on the building code atrociousness that it is. Talking to local contractors themselves to hear from them what is happening, and talking to the local hardware stores about how many people are going to other provinces to build is critical in what we're facing right now. I would say that's the bigger factor than Airbnbs and vacation rentals. Mind you, the province doesn't like me having that conversation, I won't stop.
Okay, there's $44 billion up for grabs right now of government funds. To give just 0.8 acres, which is the most expensive to get the infrastructure in there, and then have the rest of this cream sitting there for the village is, I think, ridiculous. What is your vision? What do you want? We have new opportunities every day. Randy shared a new one. Land lease affordable housing. You need to look at that video. And I was thinking, could we bring in sweat equity to help it more affordable, where you do the work? Are there other improvements and solutions? I'm sure there are. I'll go back to my other one on dark homes. Some of my suggestions for the use of a fee are that it could be designated as general village revenue or a social fund, which could be put towards developing housing, etc. Or this fee could be used and converted to certificates similar to chamber cash that the homeowner can spend at any local storefront or home-based business, education course offers, fairs, market, or community activity. Conversely, this empty home fee could be avoided if a non-resident dark home owner decided to rent out his or her home for the duration of their absences, or a portion of that. I think there are many, many ways of looking at things. We are in a crisis, and we do need to address this. It's not going away, and it is urgent. That is why the federal and provincial government are dropping in $44 billion. It has gotten out of control. And banks will finance. If you have a house, they will finance you up to 7 houses you can purchase, right? But there's so many people that don't even qualify. I know people with good jobs. they cannot get the down payment. The house prices are going up faster than they qualify. And we have people that are paying rents that are higher than if they qualified for a mortgage. We have to help these people. We have to help each other. I believe Kaslo is like a gem. We need to cut it and make it even more beautiful. Thank you.